Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 13th, 2020. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
This week we're finding non-pandemic things to complain about, talking about things we miss from ordinary life, and taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. But today we're going to talk about celebrations in the time of coronavirus. At my house, we've had 2 birthdays, and then with all of our families, we've had Easter just yesterday. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about how those celebrations have looked in this new time and situation.
Mm-hmm.
For us, Easter always is like one of those things that sneaks up on me. And, you know, partly because it changes dates every year. And then because my kids' birthdays are one day apart and they're always seem to be close to Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So this year was no different, where I was like, just let me get through the birthdays and then I will think about Easter, where I had like a 1-week time frame to think about.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, now you have an excuse to say, we can't do anything. We're taking those things off this year. Move along.
Yes, we did manage to do some birthday things. My daughter's friends, I had them make yard signs for her.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It was cute.
And they had them, because my first thought was sidewalk chalk.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, well, how are they going to do that without being seen?
Yeah.
So I had them drop off signs in the couple days before, and then I put them out in the yard, first thing in the morning on her birthday. I had to order steaks on Amazon, like the H-shaped sign steak thingies.
Right.
So luckily they got here on time, because I was nervous about that.
Yeah.
Because, we order something on Amazon, they're like, it'll get there between these 8 days.
Right.
I'm like, well,
this is not helpful.
Yeah, but it worked out. So that was nice. And she, I think, really enjoyed that. But then, of course, my son's birthday was the next day. And so there's always a risk of like comparison. And I couldn't ask his friends to, come drop things off or come here, because they don't drive like her friends.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So I had them email me messages, and then my daughter transcribed them onto a big giant card. And then we have these giant cutout pictures of his head that are like 3 feet tall that are left over from hockey. Yeah, so I thought at the last second, I'm going to stick that in the front yard. So we gave it like a happy birthday sash, the giant head around its forehead, and put that in the yard for a while. So
how fun.
Yeah. So that was how we did the birthdays. And then Easter, neither of them were interested in coloring eggs. So this was the first year ever that we haven't colored eggs.
And are you feeling happy about that or nostalgic?
Mostly nostalgic, because we do eat them. We do hard-boiled eggs. We color them. We eat them. We don't hide them because we have dogs. Right. But we've also been going through a lot of eggs for regular eating, and they're a little bit hard to get right now. So we decided not to do that. And I got a few little gifts and candy from the Target drive-up service, which really dictated what I got. Yeah. So we did that, and we did baskets and a meal, and that's pretty much it, which is honestly not all that much different from a regular year. Obviously we didn't go to church, but we watched a service actually from a church in Brooklyn that my cousins go to, that the whole time when I lived in New York, New Jersey, I would always go there for Easter, because I really love their service. Nice. So I decided, well, this year I could virtually go to that church, cool, which I don't usually get a chance to. Yeah. That was it. That's Easter. How about for you guys? Nicole, you had brunch, right?
We did. This year we decided we would forego the dinner and we opted for brunch, which was actually quite nice because everybody got up around the same time and then we just sat around and had coffee for a bit and talked and watched TikTok on the TV.
Just like the Bible says.
We have our own way of celebrating Easter.
That's right.
Yeah, and then we just had a nice, easy brunch, and everybody pitched in. And my kids said they didn't need chocolate, but of course they, that they would complain if they didn't get it. So I had my husband run out to the store last night, and I said, "Can you get some Easter chocolate?" And he came back with like 2 Hershey's chocolate bars. I'm like, "What is this? This is an Easter chocolate." Even the kids complained. They're like, "Hey, where's my Cadbury milk chocolate eggs?" So yeah, but then in terms of birthdays, I have my birthday coming up very soon, and I know that whatever we do is going to be limited, and it's a milestone birthday, and I know that I've said that I don't want to do anything, and don't want any kind of like special event around it. But then when you're forced to not have a special event, it's kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so so I've been dropping hints to my husband. I actually told him about your daughter, Catherine. I'm like, so her friends drove by the house and knocked the door and said hello. Happy birthday. So, but I doubt he's taking the hint that he needs to, up his game a little bit on that day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I had my 60th last year and nothing happened and there was no good excuse. There was no pandemic. There was just a general lack of effort.
Yeah.
So, at least your spouse has an excuse.
I guess, but I'm like, oh, come on. You can at least do something. Be creative. Like, do something a little bit, but... Anyway.
Yeah, I think the drive-by is becoming quite a tradition already.
Seems to be.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen it in a lot of families that are on my Facebook feed, at least.
Yeah.
Organizing it for their kids or whatever. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a thing with like all the fire trucks and the police cars driving by, and then there was a town near here somewhere who forbade that. They would not let their emergency vehicles participate in such things. Because, as we've discussed here before, some people are killjoys. But
some people hate fun.
That's right. Even harmless fun. But we've had 2 birthdays. Well, we had my son's birthday has gone by, and my daughter's birthday is next Friday. I don't expect our lives are going to be any different at that time. And hers is her 30th birthday, so that should be a big one. And I am fully going to use the excuse of the lockdown to opt out of anything other than the takeout dinner of your choice, sweetie. But we were going to get her a smart TV for her room. We already got that and gave it to her. So she's having like a birthday 2-week period of getting things, culminating in the takeout dinner of her choice. And that will be it.
Right.
And usually on Easter, we meet up at a restaurant that is sort of equidistant from our house and the house of our relatives in Pennsylvania. Often it is a Golden Corral off the turnpike that we meet at. And, we had a phone call about when do we want to get together for Easter, and then like the next day, all restaurants were closed.
Right.
So they're in their house and we're in our house. We had ham from Boston Market for dinner, and that's just fine. Just the 4 of us, and cornbread. So it works out. My kids are old enough now that we don't do any other Easter frivolity. But I do notice that our town I guess they have a big Easter egg hunt every year. We don't participate in it, but I do hear rumblings. So this year what they did is they encouraged everybody to draw pictures of Easter eggs and put them up in their windows. And then they would put together a map of where you could drive by and see Easter eggs in people's windows, which I can't quite see filling children with the same delight as finding a plastic egg full of candies, but we do what we can.
Yeah, there was a town near, maybe it was a neighborhood, I don't know, but something in our area that did I think not just in the windows, but like big poster board or even wooden or something, egg displays for kids to walk around and look at or drive around. So yeah, it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are trying.
They are.
We had sat on the couch and watched Mass from our local church. Our priest and parochial vicar are getting very professional in their productions. There's music, there's graphics, there's, the two of them doing the Mass in front of nobody. But they're getting into their acting work here. And it's just really cool to be able to kind of turn on church whenever you want. They have daily Mass. We tuned into the Easter Vigil last night for a little while, and they had a blessing of the food, so we took our Boston Market bag and put it in front of the TV. I feel like I'm getting more church than I would have otherwise, but it's really not the same.
On Saturday evening, in lieu of an Easter Vigil, I watched Jesus Christ Superstar on YouTube. The free production that Andrew Lloyd Webber organized, allowed to be posted, whatever it was. It was set in the sort of Occupy Wall Street spirit, I guess. But that was just the staging. No changes to the lyrics or anything. So
not the one with John Legend?
No, it wasn't that one.
Okay. I mean, I think they reshowed that for Easter somewhere. I'm not sure if it was online or on TV.
Yeah. This was in a, as Andrew Lloyd Webber put it, a rock arena, the way he intended it to be when he wrote it. So.
All right then.
Yes.
There's so many spiritual things going on, though. I've mentioned the Hallow app here before, and they did a 24-hour rosary from I think 7 o'clock on Saturday through 7 o'clock on Sunday. And you would sign in for an hour, and they did it on Zoom. So it was like a Zoom rosary. So I signed up for an hour, and I went and watched somebody saying the rosary and said it with them. And that was cool. That's different.
Yeah.
And then I also, because this is what all the cool kids are doing, on Easter night, I had a Zoom phone call with some friends. And I wanted to do it with family, but I kept asking my in-laws, do you guys have Zoom? I sent messages to my nephew, do you have Zoom on your computer? Nobody ever got back to us. So fine. I found a bunch of friends who work from home and have Zoom on their computers. Right. And we had a friend chat, which was very nice. Friends I hadn't talked to in a long time, and haven't seen in a long time, and still haven't really seen, but sort of saw.
Right.
Hi, there in my computer screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.